Hey everybody, welcome to another HeroPress tip of the week. This week we're going to talk about WPCLI, Command Line Interface. I'm going to show you how to use WPCLI and hopefully make it so that it's really easy and not scary at all. Here's the website for it, wp-cli.org, and there are some examples of how to use it and some examples of how to install it. Fortunately, I'm going to guess that you don't need to install it because nearly every WordPress host out there comes with it pre-built in. Additionally, local WordPress apps like Desktop Server and Local WP also have it built in. So unless you are running something pretty unusual, you probably don't need to install it yourself. Let's take a look at how to use it. I'm on the command line here on my own Mac, and I'm going to SSH to my server. And if you need help with SSH, check out last week's video because it's super simple. I'm going to do SSH. And now I am logged in. This is a server at DreamHost. And if I type ls, you can see that I'm in my root folder and my website is in that domain name folder. So let's go in there. We'll type ls again. And there is WordPress. Now you can run WPCLI anywhere inside WordPress. So you can do it here. You can go into your themes folder, your plugins folder, anywhere. What's really important is that it knows where your wp-config file is. And we can see ours right here. So anywhere within WordPress, it knows how to find that. So the way you figure out what you can do with WPCLI is you simply type WP and hit enter. And this is not all it can do. This is the first half page. So some of the things it can do are mess with your cache, capabilities. You can create, update, delete, and moderate comments. You can update core. Doctor will do a review of your whole site and tell you what it needs. You can export WordPress content to a WXR file. You can basically do anything WordPress can do within WPCLI. You can create blog posts. You can mess with roles. You can manage your sidebar. You can be super admin. You can work with themes. Up here, you can work with plugins, users, widgets. Anything that can be done from here. Now, these are some global parameters that I'm not going to get into right now. You probably won't need them. So you'll see right here, though, that it says WP help, and then any command will give you more information. So at the end here, it says end. Just press Q to get out. So I'm going to type WP help plugins. And I think it's plugin singular. Yep. See there it says, did you mean plugin? So let's do that. And now these are commands that you can do with plugins. You can activate, auto update, deactivate, delete. You can get new ones. You can search for them, uninstall them. Basically, anything that can be done to a plugin can be done on the command line. And I will show you. One of them is WP plugin list. And here are my active plugins. Well, it's all my plugins. I only happen to have 3 active ones. DreamHost Panel Login has no update. Cadence Blocks does have an update. And Simply Schedule Appointments, it says version higher than expected. Simply Schedule Appointments is a commercial plugin, and I'll bet WPCLI is not communicating well with the server. But I need to update Cadence Blocks. So I'm going to do WP plugin update cadence-blocks. And there it is. The old version was 2.2.3. The new version is 2.3.0. So now, if I do plugin list again, you'll see that it has been updated. So you can also do things like theme list. There are my themes. And there's an update for 2022 and Cadence. So I'm going to do theme update, Cadence, and 20-22. Oh, there are no hyphens. And now they're updated. Now, what I want you to take away from this most, because I'm not going to show you how to do everything. The thing to remember is that you can type WP and see all these commands, and then you can do WP and one of those commands, and it will tell you more about it. So this is the database one. So you can do WP DB export. This is a database export. Now, if I just hit enter, it's going to complain. Oh, it's not. It's going to give me a file. So there's my file. I don't want it here in WordPress. I want it in my main folder. So there it is. Now I have a database export. Now I can just download it for backups. So this is how to do stuff on your server. And once again, I want to say this again. Just type DB and then a command, and it'll tell you what you need to know. So I'm just going to type WP cron and see what it says. There we go. Event, schedule, or test. Let's try test. It's working. I haven't used most of the commands in here. I had never done WP cron test just now. And I'm just typing it to see how it goes. It's very hard to break things. So don't be afraid to try things. Now, this was on my server. This is local WP, and here's my tip of the week server. If you right click, it says open site shell. And I'm going to make that really big. And it says right here that WP CLI is installed. So if I type ls, there's WordPress. I do WP plugin list. There they are. And wouldn't you know it, Cadence Blocks needs an update too. So update Cadence-Blocks. There we go. So as you can see, you can use it on your local server just as well. Now you may be thinking, why WP CLI? Why not just do it through the web? And there are a variety of reasons. One reason is that some things are simply easier to do on the command line. For example, that database export. You can't do that in the main web interface. There's just no UI for it. You'd have to get a plugin, and it wouldn't be core. This is just a core export, and it works great. There's a search and replace function in here. WP search-replace. Then it says you type in the old thing, you type in the new thing, you hit enter, and it goes. If you want, you can do a dry run. You can choose specific tables, all that kind of stuff. Search and replace would require a plugin in the GUI. This is core. Another reason is that PHP in the web browser can only run for 30 seconds, and then the server kills it. That's to keep it from running away from the server. So if you've ever tried to update a site that hasn't been updated in maybe years, and it times out, and you have to do it again, and it times out, and you do it again, and it times out, that doesn't happen on the command line. That limit is not there. And so you could run something that would take hours if you want. Imagine a network site with 200 sites on it, and it hasn't been updated in years. You can do an update. You can do a search and replace across all 200 sites. It's just, you get a lot more flexibility on the command line. Another reason is maybe your website is just broken. Maybe there's a 500 error in a plugin somewhere. Somebody says, hey, you should log in and deactivate plugins. and it'll get back up. You just SSH in, do a plugin list, and see what's going on. Your options are pretty vast. So I recommend learning how to use it. I think once you start using it, you'll find yourself using it more and more. I was a doubter at first. I thought, why would I use a command line? And I'm even a command line guy. And as I started using it, I just more and more bits and pieces here and there. Oh, it's just as easy to do it here. So I recommend trying out WP-CLI. If you get stuck, let me know. Ask questions. Post in the comments. I will help you. I hope you find it useful.